Hello, my name is Mallory Valentine, and I'll be discussing my LUT1 Task 2 presentation. Have you ever sat down to lunch in your school cafeteria and wondered, what exactly is this meal that I'm eating? Is it good for me? A 2007 assessment by the School Nutrition Dietary concluded that most schools in America exceed USDA guidelines for total fat, saturated fat, and sodium in school lunches. My thesis for this presentation is that research suggests schools that provide healthy lunches to students have healthier students because these schools show decreased childhood obesity rates, overall behavioral improvement, and better grades. The three main points of this presentation are healthy diets in school display better grades in their students, healthy diets improve the behavior of their students, and healthy food options aid in the decrease and prevention of childhood obesity rates. That being said, let's discuss the main points in some detail, starting with how healthy diets in schools display better grades in their students. An example of this would be a study administered by Oxford University showed that school children in Britain who adopted chef and healthy food activist Jamie Oliver's school meal program scored higher on standardized tests than their peers who ate less nutritious foods. Another example of how student grades have benefited from eating healthy school lunches would be from a Canadian study published in the Journal of School Health. This study tested 5,000 students to examine their academic performance. The findings concluded that students who ate more fruits and vegetables scored higher academically than those who ate unhealthy foods high in sugar and high in fat. Moving on to the second main point of this presentation, healthy diets improve the overall behavior of students. A study that was conducted by a school food trust found that in providing healthy lunches to students had a positive effect on their behavior. The study found that pupils at the schools where improvements had been made were 18% more likely to be on task compared with students whose schools had not implemented healthy foods. Another statistic that supports this claim would be the study that has been going on over the past 13 years in Appleton, Wisconsin. Since the school district switched from unhealthy processed foods to more nutritional offerings, it has experienced a substantial decrease in negative student behaviors, such as dropout rates and students carrying weapons. The school has even found it unnecessary to have a police officer on campus. The third and final point of this presentation is in regards to healthy school lunches decreasing and preventing childhood obesity rates. School lunches are often high in fat and do not meet nutritional requirements. According to Diane Whitmore-Schausenbach of the University of Chicago, the combination of high-fat, non-nutritional food has contributed to the increasing amounts of childhood obesity. By making school lunches healthier, these obesity rates will decrease. Another example, according to the Physician Committee for Responsible Medicine that works to improve the nutrition of school lunches, shows a nutritious school lunch can help prevent students from gaining an unhealthy amount of weight. The committee reports that many choices in school cafeterias such as pizza, cheeseburgers, and chicken nuggets cannot be considered part of a healthy lunch because they contain high amounts of saturated fat and calories, which lead to weight gain. If you look at these pie charts I have created, you will see how healthy school lunches have had a positive effect in decreasing childhood obesity percentages in California, Mississippi, New York City, and Philadelphia. The first pie chart on the left shows childhood obesity percentages before healthy school lunch programs were implemented from 2005 to 2007. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation concluded that before healthy school lunches were utilized, New York City had a childhood obesity rate of 21.9%, Philadelphia had a rate of 21.5%, California's rates were at 38.44%, and Mississippi's rates were at 43%. Moving on to the second pie chart on the right displays the decrease in childhood obesity rates by percentages from 2009 to 2011 after healthy school lunch programs were implemented. According to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Philadelphia has seen a decline of 4.7%, New York City a decrease in 5.5%, California had a decline of 1.1%, and Mississippi had the greatest decline of 13.3%. All of these places have introduced healthy school lunch programs in their schools and are seeing positive changes in decreasing childhood obesity percentages as a result. If more schools provided healthy meals to their students, these percentages would continue to fall. More efforts are needed to implement these types of sweeping changes nationwide. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation stated that in California alone, nearly one-third of children and teens are overweight or obese. Now that schools nationwide are starting to adopt healthy lunch programs, students will be able to reap the benefits that come along with eating healthy. Maybe one day statistics will change drastically and prove without a shadow of a doubt that healthy school lunches have had an impact on student academics, positive behavior progression, and a major decrease in childhood obesity nationwide. All right, that's the end of my LUT1 Task 2 presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Go right ahead.
What are the current nutritional requirements for school lunches, and aren't these made with the students' health in mind?
That's a great question. According to the National School Lunch Program, school lunches must meet the dietary guidelines for Americans, which recommend that no more than 30% of an individual's calories come from fat and less than 10% from saturated fat. Regulations also establish a standard for school lunches to provide one-third of the recommended dietary allowances of protein, vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, calcium, and calories. Many doctors and nutritionists argue that these guidelines, while a good start, still fall short of what is needed to plan truly healthy meals for children. Does anybody else have any questions? Go right ahead.
Could you provide me with an example of what a new healthy lunch menu might look like?
Of course. Here's an example from whitehouse.gov of what a new healthy lunch might consist of. A chef salad with grilled chicken and low-fat mozzarella, a whole wheat pretzel, a half a cup of cooked corn, a quarter of a cup of raw baby carrots, a banana, a carton of skim chocolate milk, and the option of low-fat ranch or low-fat Italian dressing. Are there any more questions? All right, well that sums up my LUT1 Task 2 presentation. Thank you for your time.